Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. This is Courtney, the Marketing Coordinator here at AIM. Today's webinar will be recorded and later posted on our website. This does mean that all attendees will be automatically muted so that we can get a quality recording. If you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat box and we'll try to get to them throughout the presentation. But if we're unable to get to all of them, we'll have a member of our marketing team reach out to you individually to make sure we get those questions answered. Our newest agent resource, the 2-Minute Minute, is still in full swing. Our marketing team is bringing you quick ways to talk to more prospects, write more business, and grow your agency. We're posting new videos every week, so check out our social media pages, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube to see what you may have missed. We also have a special podcast beginning on December 1st, so keep an eye out on your email to see our first episode launch date. We do have webinars every Wednesday morning, so keep an eye on your email for the next invite coming your way. With that, I will hand it over to Mike Anderson so that we can get ready. Go ahead and take it away, Mike.
Thanks, Courtney. As always, appreciate the work that Courtney puts in, restarting here. And we appreciate you making your time available. We know it's a pretty busy time of year for a lot of you out there. And making time available to join us here today is a commitment, which we certainly appreciate that, and we're quite confident that the information that we're going to make available for you here this morning is going to be more than worth that. So let's get this thing back to sharing. Okay, so it's our pre-Turkey Day webinar special. We moved it up a day to accommodate more folks as we get closer to that, and we are going to stuff you full of information about the short-term care market and the products, and hopefully at the end of this you're going to understand why this product creates a significant opportunity for you to help more people, and it creates a vast opportunity for those people to make sure that that they're protected. If you haven't been paying attention lately, you're going to be surprised to understand just how much in the forefront of conversations long-term care is, and not just the product itself, but the cost of care and all the different pieces, parts of that. A handful of states plus are considering some sort of payroll tax type situation to deal with long-term care Medicaid costs. That would be similar to what Washington did, but as of now, they are only items of consideration. The state of California is waiting for an actuarial report on the 5 different options that were presented to it. And as best we can tell right now, and these things can change very quickly, especially after the first of the year when legislatures go into session, it can change pretty quickly. So not really sure if people are waiting to see what California does before they do anything, but that's where we're at. And that awareness isn't the only, there's more than one part to it, okay? There's been a massive uptick in long-term care claims activity over the last year and a half or so. And what that means for you is that more and more families, including undoubtedly many families that you have as part of your book of business, they're having up close and personal expenses with care costs and the financial and emotional difficulties that accompany those care costs. And so now you're saying to yourself, okay, Anderson, how does this tie into what you want to talk to us about today? Well, it's more simple and easy than you might think. The reality is we need more affordable solutions for care costs to allow a large majority of potential customers to address this. And we've also got to deal with the fact along the way that our country isn't getting healthier. So the question is, what if we had a product line that could do both, that could address that need, could address concerns about costs, and we'll talk more about that here in a second, and then also address the fact that as we learn more about the health or non-health of our country, that is more of a problem than we thought. And the belief is that as we get this information out to you, it's going to help you engage or put you in a position to engage in more conversations about this type of opportunity and solution for your clients. So just think for a second, what if we had a product that reduced the typical cost for folks for long-term care coverage down from about $400 a month for a couple to in the $150 a month range for that couple. I'm going to see if everybody's awake now. Hit the hand raise button on your control panel if you think that costing differential would make a difference in the ability of your clients, your ability to get your clients and your prospects to sign on that dotted line. So let's take a look and see how many people are awake. Well, a few are. We're getting some hands raised. Now we're getting a few more hands raised. Again, hit the hand raise button on your control panel if you think that a pricing differential like I just talked about, down from 400-ish, depending on where you're at, to about 150, whether that make a difference. Okay, so now we got some people raising their hands. All right, very, very good. I like that. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and put that down. So now, next part of this, what if we offered you and your clients and prospects a plan that had significantly reduced underwriting and would also fit into that price range, okay? Do you think that would move the cost forward? Again, hand raising if you think that underwriting gap there would move that conversation forward. And remember, when you're raising your hands, we're keeping tabs on this. We're going to be coming back to you later on and asking about how these conversations are going. All right. So what if we made an option available in many states that would get coverage for diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, or even severe arthritis or osteoporosis, osteopenia, and stay within that cost framework? You think that would make the conversation easier and the willingness to engage on the part of your clients increase? Let's see some hands on that. All right. Got people awake out there. I always like that. All right. So we appreciate everybody throwing that out there. Okay. And I did say many states. All right. There are some states that have what I would categorize as odd thought processes on these products. And as such, they just simply aren't going to approve them. Okay. We can tackle that on a case-by-case basis going forward, but just realize as we have this conversation and we prep you with these different options and such, that if it's not available in the state that you're working in, that's almost for certain a state regulatory situation and not a carrier situation. The good thing is there's a lot of positive motion here. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do here over the next few minutes. Talk about why we're here, where we're at. We just kind of covered that, what really the problem is, how we can solve both. And we're going to show you here in a few minutes that you really have the opportunity for more help than you probably think. All right, so we're going to bring sort of a modified Venn diagram into this situation and give you an overview talk about this, okay? Aetna, they're in. It's a brand name that's as big as it gets. You've got Wellebe Medico. All right, they're brand new to this market segment, but they've got extensive senior market experience. Guarantee Trust Life. Okay, Guarantee Trust Life worked with us and helped design the first, or actually did design the first purpose-built, what I'm going to call LTC relief product, when they brought critical care and then later on critical cash to the marketplace. And GTL now has a beefed up recover cash opportunity that's got a revolutionary cash benefit in this space, never really been seen before, and very new to the market. Just out in January is Manhattan Life's Omniflex. Okay, and last but not least, and thankfully for a market that gets more complex all the time, we've got GTL's enhanced short-term home care product, which just came out a couple months ago. And for reasons that we're going to talk about in a little bit, this one has got everybody's attention. All right. In the next few minutes, we're going to take an overview look at all of this. Okay. And we're going to talk about, and that overview look is going to have an emphasis on the availability, the price, and the underwriting. And we know that as you move forward and start conversations, we want you to make sure and understand things are going to evolve. And for the most part, they're going to evolve in a way that's positive. And what I mean by that is more carriers are going to get into this market space. And that's good for us, okay? It'll seem like a bit of a pain just because you're going to hear us talking about different things. But when you end it up, you're going to end up in a situation where you've got multiple, not just good, not just better, but you're going to have multiple best options for your clients as you move forward. So, all right, so let's take a look. Aetna Recovery Care, and they've got a number of different ways that this is available, a number of different ways that you can configure it, okay? This is a big name player. The price point that they are at for a mid-range policy, this particular product's version of a middle-of-the-road opportunity, it's about $100 per individual. Okay, the availability age there is 50 to 89. All right, hang on for just a second here. I want to look for something while I'm having this conversation with you. There we go. So I got this in front of me. It's age 50 to 89. Okay, it's a reimbursement model, and elimination period options 0, 20 days, and 100 days. And it's, like I said, it's right at about $100. They have 7 underwriting questions, and you're going to see this underwriting question thing as a recurring theme as we go forward, because it's a key piece when you compare it to traditional long-term care that typically has more than 20 questions. This does it does make some opportunities available that don't exist otherwise, which is a good thing. But in a lot of cases, because of the health situation that I alluded to before, it's going to push you. You may end up getting pushed to the simplest solution here. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in just a couple minutes. All right. Also out there, and this is in the same order as what we brought to you before, Recover Cash from GTL, and they just came out with a buffed up version of this product. Okay, it's available from ages 40 to 84, which is good. It gets it down into that younger piece of the market that we believe is going to be crucial in terms of the ability to help more people and help more people at a point in time when it matters and when they can qualify. Price point, about $90 a month for that middle of the range policy. Okay. It's got 12 underwriting questions, so it's a little heftier from that particular situation. It does have a restoration feature, and it does have inflation available, both 5% simple and 5% compound. All right. The one thing it's got that really differentiates it from most of the rest of the field is this TCare cash opportunity. Okay. That's a $3,500 one-time lump sum payment that's available to the family of the policy holder once they complete a caregiver assessment that is administered by TCare. And what it really does is it makes money available to address whatever quirky little things come up that are needed to support. We're always going to be talking about Uncle Bob here today. And as Uncle Bob's care needs develop, it's a quirky way that they can address informal care or whatever it is that they need to be able to do. Okay, this exists in a very narrow range here, and it's important to note that with $3,500 on a lump sum, it gives them some opportunities that aren't available elsewhere. Okay, Medico, and for those of you that have been with us for a long time, we've had Medico around for a long time, and they've kind of reiterated and restated their commitment to this market. It's kind of early in the game for them, and they are working through state availability. Now, one thing, and this will resonate for those of you that have much, if any, experience in the long-term care market, is that the interstate compact, which is how long-term care companies, carriers, how they are able to get 35, 36 states approved in one fell swoop, that doesn't exist for short-term care. And that means that carriers like Medico and like Aetna and like Guaranty Trust, they have to go state to state. So it takes a little while longer, okay? The price point at this is about $110 for that middle of the road configuration. Age availability does go up to 89, which is a nice opportunity at the very high end of this. And they do have a simple inflation option. I did restate that price availability. $100 seems to be a magic number, if you want to call it that. It's kind of a line in the sand. The ability to stay underneath $100, we believe farther down the road is going to be the kind of thing that's going to make a difference. But again, it's important to note that when you got a couple that's looking at something like this, the fact that you can bring this thing home for $200 a month as opposed to $400 or $450 a month, that's going to be significant. Okay. And again, new to this market, they came out in January. They did some beta testing with some specific agent groups and had some success early on, and that's Omniflex, and that is available from Manhattan Life. The price point on that for the middle of the road is right at about $90. Okay, they do have restoration of benefits available. They do have a compound inflation option available on this reimbursement model. Okay, 10 underwriting questions. So you're seeing some consistency in that 10 to 12 question landscape, if you want to call it that. Okay, they are rapidly addressing state availability. Right now, we're waiting for them to get it approved. In Oregon, that'll be significant based on where we are at geographically, but it is approved in a lot of the other states. And again, the availability point at 45 to 89, that is a significant piece as well. And they've got that kind of a different variant of the cash benefit called Fast 50. And Fast 50 makes available 50% of whatever the contracted benefit amount is for them, and it makes it available on day one without regardless of what the elimination period option is. It's available right away, which we believe is significant. Okay, and that allows, again, for whatever quirky little things that they want to have available as well. Worth noting, Bankers Life also has a product. We don't carry it, very similar to most of what you've seen me talk about here. It's a reimbursement model. It doesn't have cash. Price points in the $85 range, but it does have 15 underwriting questions. That's the most that we came in contact with as we were going through and doing a pretty in-depth dive into what this landscape looked like here. And then the last piece of this, and this was kind of the center disc in that modified Venn diagram thing that we introed with at the beginning, it's the short-term care enhanced product from Guaranty Trust Life. Okay, and I'm going to be honest with you, this one is a game changer, and it's a game changer for a number of different key reasons. Okay, one of the things that changed when they came out with the enhanced version is they bumped up the home care aid benefit to 360 benefit days. This is a service day piece, okay? Now, there are a couple states that limit that, but again, those are state-specific limitations that restrict it a little bit, but it's still significant because it is a service day contract, okay? The age group for this is 61 to 85. That's a little bit higher than we'd like to see on the entry level, but we think that GTL felt as though this is the way they had to manage it to be able to price it this way. Okay, the price point at age 65, you're looking right at about $75 per person. So a couple can get this extensive coverage. And I'll talk about what extensive means in a second. They can get that for about $150 a month for the two of them. Okay. Now, when I said extensive, this not only makes available that home health care aid opportunity, but it allows for professional services at home. And when I talk about professional services, you're talking about physical therapy, which if you've ever had a family member or a client in a home care situation, the doctors immediately bring physical therapy to bear on that because they want to make sure that these clients are not losing range of motion. They're getting up, they're moving around, they're doing things rather than bit-bopping out of the bedroom, plopping down in a nice comfortable chair there in their living room area and listening to NPR, or I guess at this time of year, listening to holiday music, watching, Fox television, whatever it is that they want to do. They want to make sure that they can get up. One of the big pieces that leads people being put into skilled nursing facilities is the availability of respiratory therapy. That's an option that can be brought to bear. You've got general nursing that can be brought to bear at the top level, which is factored into this $75 price point. Those opportunities are all available with a $200 per visit max. That's a pretty significant opportunity there in terms of being able to bring be in a situation where a short-term crisis doesn't force your client into a situation where they need to be in a facility. They can be at home. The resources can be brought to bear with a $450 a day total max. Okay, those resources can be brought to bear as needed. Okay, and now when we talk about this price point, it's important to note that the numbers that I gave you at the beginning when I was talking about traditional long-term care, that $400-ish range for a couple, for that's based on a $5,000 monthly benefit with a $180,000 starting pool. Okay, this product right here has a $450 per day max benefit and $162,000 max for the policy, and it does offer restoration. Now, the TCare opportunity is there. We are pretty sure what we're going to see once this settles in and folks get familiar with it is they're going to use it as much as anything else to deal with informal care situations where you don't want to burn a whole day of caregiving in a situation where you might be gone for a couple, 3 hours. And we always talk about this in the general conversations about informal care and questions there. You bring somebody in, a neighbor person, somebody from the church, whatever, they come in for a couple hours to help take care of Uncle Bob, and you slip them a Franklin. For those of you that aren't familiar with the cash breakdowns, that's a $50 bill. You slip them a $50 bill, they take care of Uncle Bob for a couple hours while errands are being run or a doctor's visit takes place. It doesn't involve Uncle Bob, whatever that piece is, okay? But that takes care of it, and it means that one of those precious 360 days, service days of benefit, that doesn't get used up in a situation where it's not a full deal, okay? And then the single most important piece here, and I think this is the one that you are going to become very, very, very versed with. The only medical question on this product pertains to Alzheimer's disease, cognitive impairment, or memory loss, okay? If your client isn't dealing with that, Alzheimer's disease, memory loss, cognitive issues, by way of diagnosis, not, oh, geez, Uncle Bob just forgets where he puts stuff. No, this is an actual formal diagnosis. If they are not dealing with that and they are not on claim, by definition, they're going to get the policy. Okay. I don't think you can have a better opportunity to take care of people and not have to get snagged on health issues. I listed some of this stuff that comes into play with this product that's not available with the other solutions that we talked about here, the Medico, the Aetna, the RecoverCast, the Omniflex, Bankers, okay? These are among the different things that you're going to be able to get coverage for a client if they're not in a care situation. Diabetes, you get somebody who's a type 1 diabetic, that's pretty much, that means that you're not going to be able to have any conversations on traditional long-term care, and it also means they're not going to make it through with one of the other products, but they will here, okay? Multiple sclerosis, ALS, somebody who's got osteopenia or osteoporosis, somebody who's got heavy-duty arthritis, somebody who's got height and weight issues. None of those things are part of this underwriting matrix that you move them through here. That piece right here, this very, very, very limited scope of, of medical underwriting, that's going to be significant. I mentioned this on a previous call where we were talking about these things a few days ago, and this is the honest to God's truth. For last week, for the first time ever, in working with agents with the original version of this product and now the enhanced version of this product, for the first time ever, I had a situation where, and the questions that an agent asked me and the information that we exchanged led to a situation where we would not be able to suggest that the agent submit an application by virtue of the fact that the client was actually in an on-claim situation and they needed care with one of the 6 ADLs. Okay, I take questions about this product probably 3-4 days a week at least, in some cases more than that, and that's the first time I've ever been in a situation where we had somebody where the questions that are asked on the application screened them out. Okay, this is an opportunity of gigantic proportions for clients, whether you're talking to underage clients, and most importantly for the folks that are on this call, when you're talking to clients in conjunction with senior health insurance, whether it be Medicare Sup or Medicare Advantage. As you get into that rest of the year, we call it the ROI timeframe, starting in January, where you've got the opportunity to circle back with folks and have more in-depth conversations. This is, if you are actually pursuing it, you will have a tremendous amount of success with this, just simply because it addresses the price point issue at about $75 per person, and that's it's important to note that that's not gender distinct. So males and females age 63 pay the same premium. So you've got an affordability issue off the table. The price point is manageable, and the medical situation with regard to the questions or the lack of questions is significant. Okay, so obvious question, what's next? Okay, well, it would help if I could spell technology right, but moving forward with this, you're going to want to get appointed with some combination of these carriers depending on the states that you're operating in, but for sure GTL, to make sure that you've got the availability of that enhanced short-term care product, We're going to spend time with you on onboarding intensively, and that's because you're going to want to take care of the applications. You're going to want to do these applications electronically. We'll get you out to those various websites. We'll walk you through the basics of illustrating it. We'll walk you through the basics of doing that application. And in most cases, these are maybe a 10-minute process at most. Okay, and that's that onboarding and that technology that's spelled wrong. Those two things work together, but the single most important thing for you in terms of working with your clients is to start having conversations right away. Okay, as you go into that time frame here, you got some holiday time here this week. You're going to have more holiday time coming up later on. These are the time to start these conversations with folks, to start making sure that they know you've got this opportunity available, and you're able to move forward with that right away. We had a question with regard to product availability. The GTL Enhanced not available in Oregon yet. That's one of several states that they're pursuing, but it's worth noting that the base plan in Oregon is fantastic. And if you have a client who's got the base plan, you can reapply and they'll be put onto the enhanced plan as soon as it becomes available. So I wouldn't wait for the enhanced piece of this to move forward. There are, I believe, 17 states that have the enhanced plan. We can cover that offline with you if you do have specific questions with regard to that. But if you're not having the conversations with your clients about these products, the applications aren't going to magically occur. And it's really easy for us to be able to tell, because when agents start to have these conversations, the applications start to move through the process pretty rapidly. Okay, and because these are limited underwriting opportunities, in most cases, they're going to move through very, very quickly. Okay, if you start having these conversations ASAP, you're going to start getting applications ASAP. All right, so that wraps this up. I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody and take questions here. As I always tell folks as I begin the unmuting process, if you would go ahead and self-mute if you don't have questions, we'd appreciate that. That keeps tea kettles and dogs barking and things like that from interrupting us. It looks like most folks are self-muted, but we do have the line open if you do have questions. And it's worth noting that our the marketing team, Derek, Don, Deb, and Nisha, they will be in contact with everybody as well as myself. Everybody that's been on the call, field any questions that you've got, that sort of thing along the way. So anybody with questions on anything that I've covered here today? Okay, well, we refer to that as the webinar version of a no-hitter. Hopefully that means that we covered everything and you feel comfortable with this, that when the team gets a hold of you here later today, we can move forward with the contracting. I'll get that information out to you right away. Claims process, depending on the carrier, there are claims forms. They submit the forms in. And again, depending on the product, they're going to be doing some obtaining of medical records for the various clients. Stopping my cell phone. There we go. They're going to be obtaining the medical records from the various clients to confirm what's going on and to confirm that they've got the ADL requirements or they've got the cognitive trigger for the thing, and then it goes forward pretty quickly. If they're able to get that medical record information back quickly, everything moves forward really, really well. So, all right, any other questions? Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and close everything out, give everybody a couple minutes of their day back. We appreciate you making time available. Courtney will process the recorded call. She'll get it uploaded to our website so you can circle back, double check on anything that you heard or saw. And again, the marketing team, Derek, Don, Nisha, and Deb are going to be in contact with you to answer questions that you've got. get the contracting information out to you, kind of walk through some timelines as far as being able to move forward, get some rudimentary information out there to you. We're limited in what we can make available information-wise because of compliance issues. The agents have to be fully through the contracting process with these carriers to be able to represent these products with them. So anyway, thanks everybody. Appreciate you making your time available, and we'll look forward to talking to you later this afternoon. Take care. Have a great Thanksgiving. Bye now.